Welcome to the Masonic province of Berkshire and our tour of our library and museum. We are very proud of this recently refurbished and relocated facility, which is located on the first floor of Sindlesham Masonic Centre, Mole Road, Sindlesham. It is open most weekday afternoons, and we are pleased to welcome both Masonic and non-Masonic visitors. However, we would ask that you check with us first or arrange an appointment if you are travelling some distance. The first books for the library came to the Masonic Hall in Greyfriars Road, Reading. The library was set up in the 1890s by members of Greyfriars Lodge, number 1101. Worshipful Brother E.O. Farrer was the first librarian. One of the prime movers in expanding the library was Worshipful Brother Hugh Fraser. He was initiated into Freemasonry in 1910 and served as secretary of Greyfriars Lodge from 1934 to 1958. In 1969, the Masonic Hall in Reading was acquired for redevelopment, and all lodges meeting there moved to the new Masonic Centre at Sindlesham. Our long-serving librarian and curator at Sindlesham was the late Worshipful Brother Robin White. His generous bequest enabled the library and museum to be significantly updated and moved to our new larger and combined facility at Sindlesham, which you will see during our video tour. One of the largest collections in England. Included in our collection are Berkshire Province yearbooks dating from 1892 to the present time. The panelling you see here was removed from the Masonic Hall at Greyfriars Road. This Lewis II was originally part of the furniture in Greyfriars Road and was donated by Greyfriars Lodge. Our museum has expanded considerably following its relocation. We have approximately 3,500 exhibits, including ceramics, glassware, items of regalia and jewels and furniture. Some of these exhibits are over 200 years old. Smoker armour items include Masonic vesta cases and an ashtray for use of a lodge warden at the festive board. This was donated by Reading Lodge of Union, number 414, one of the oldest lodges in the province. Also of interest is this festive board gift comprising 2 cigarettes, a small cigar and a book of matches. This was given in celebration of Greyfriars Lodge 1937 installation meeting, their 73rd. See also these Masonic-themed playing cards and cribbage board. A large rummer was probably for decorative purposes rather than for drinking. 2 French faience plates, circa 1870. One shows a stylised temple and 2 pillars, and the other with Masonic scenes surmounted by the letter G in a blazing star. Now to some interesting and unusual regalia comprising aprons, sashes and jewels from the Swedish Rite, ranging from the 5th to the 10th degree. We also have an extensive range of pottery and porcelain, a fraction of which is on display here. From the late 1750s, makers began to decorate their wares with Masonic emblems. The majority were sold to lodges for use during and after their meetings. Here too is a variety of drinking vessels, decorated with various Masonic scenes and emblems. These mugs were made circa 1790 to 1870. They originated as potter's jokes from about 1830 onwards. The frog may have been made hollow so that it spurted a stream of liquid into the drinker's face. The frogs have no Masonic significance. This pair of rummers are decorated with a variety of craft and Royal Arch symbols. They were formerly the property of Right Worshipful Brother Lieutenant Colonel R.H. Ingham Clark, Provincial Grand Master for Berkshire from 1967 to 1985. They were presented by his grandson, Worshipful Brother R.J. Ingham Clark. Note also this glass tumbler engraved with Masonic symbols. The dice, although sealed in the base, are playable. The next display cabinet displays some interesting First World War soldier passes. Note also the French prisoner of war pieces. The plaque and jewel were crafted by French prisoners of war who were held in parole towns such as Reading during the Napoleonic War and would have sold these items to local Freemasons. The Master's Chair is reputed to have come from Kent into the possession of the Lodge of Virtue in Reading. It is thought to date from 1800 and had been brought to Reading by one of the Scandinavian prisoners of war who founded the Lodge of Virtue. The most curious feature is the painting on the back, a picture of a master sitting in the same chair behind a pedestal, most unusually decorated with interlaced triangles. The next cabinet comprises various items of pottery and a bust of Albert, Prince of Wales, wearing a jewel of the 11th degree of the Rite of Freemasonry, Swedish. Also a creamware jug bearing the name St Cuthbert's Lodge number 253 in 1815. The Chinese export porcelain punch bowl and 2 tankards date from the Qin Lung period, circa 1770. The designs on the outside of the bowl were taken from the illustrated embellishments in the Grand Lodge Minute Book 1769 to 1776. One of our more recent acquisitions is this early Victorian throne-like chair with various Masonic symbols and upholstered in leather. Coat of arms belongs to the 2nd Earl of Zetland, who was appointed Provincial Grand Master of Yorkshire North and East Ridings in 1840. In 1844 he was appointed Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of England. The symbols include interlaced triangle with a Knights Templar cross in the centre, sun, moon and stars, a pair of compasses and a triangle and crown. The chair is made from bell metal and wood, recovered from York Minster when it burnt down in 1840. William Henry Gosse opened his factory in Stoke-on-Trent in 1858, but it was not until the 1870s that he began to make miniature glazed vases, decorated with heraldic crests as a cheap souvenir of trips to the seaside. These souvenirs met with huge success, and a range was extended to many other types of decorations, including the Masonic pieces. Another recently acquired item is this rare Sunderland orange lustreware chamber pot, circa 1840. In the centre of the museum, the display case shows a variety and interesting selection of regalia, including this Provincial Grand Director of Ceremonies undress apron, and a square, level and plumb rule dating from the 19th century, when Berkshire and Buckinghamshire was a single province. In 1890, the province was split into the provinces we know today. The early Masonic charities are also recorded here, including alms bags from the Royal Masonic Institution for Boys inauguration on the 8th of July 1865. These first, 1914 to 18 and Second World War, 1939 to 45, breast jewels indicate the ongoing commitment to support our Masonic charities through the 2 global wars. Some are made of cardboard, and on the reverse they record that they are redeemable for metal gilded ones. Very few of these cardboard jewels remain. We are also fortunate to have in our collection this 1723 Anderson's Constitutions of the Freemasons. To you and me, a somewhat larger version of the Book of Constitutions we know today. It's a very early example, possibly the 2nd or 3rd issue following the formation of Grand Lodge in 1717. Next to the Anderson's book are several jewels, a Queen Victoria Golden Jubilee jewel, a Diamond Jubilee jewel and a jewel commemorating His Royal Highness the Duke of Connaught and Strathearn as Grand Master in 1902. In 1840, Rowland Hill transformed the postal service with the introduction of the famous penny black in the United Kingdom. Other countries quickly followed. Almost immediately people began collecting them. Many of us started collecting as children, then drifted away from the hobby. A lot of people collect specific countries, But when this gets expensive, they try to find other ways to continue their interest. It is not certain when, but maybe early 20th century, a new branch of collecting came into being, thematic philately. It is based on subjects, for example, cars, aircraft, railways, flowers and so forth, and of course, Masonic philately. The Berkshire Library and Museum collection of stamps was started by Eric Howells and continued by Duncan MacLean. It has approximately 40 albums devoted to the subject. It is organised by country and themes. It consists mainly of famous men who as Freemasons happen to have a stamp issued with their portrait. The themes include royalty worldwide, suppression of Freemasonry, United States of America 1776, United States presidents, and many more. At present, there is a display in the committee room at Sindlesham of early Freemasonry in the colonies of what became the United States of America.